Parenting skills for the real world, power and recognition category. But first, can you name 3 caring habits? I'm not saying you have to add 3 today. I'm just saying, can you name 3 of them? There's supporting, encouraging, listening, accepting, trusting, respecting, negotiating differences, and the one I can't say very well, magnanimity. Or we're just going to agree that I'll say magnanimous. That way I don't keep doing this. Okay, and a reminder that each category is unique to each person. The stuff I have listed in the category, you may want to add some things for either yourself or the person that you're interested in finding out your compatibility with. And also the degree of importance of each category and the items within it. Power and recognition. A lot of people can automatically think, oh, well, and compared to love and belonging, power and recognition is kind of a negative thing, but we're not going to go with that. Everybody has, to some degree, unless they're on a big fat 0, on the degree of importance, some level of power and recognition. And if you read through the list, you'll see a little bit of a difference of just being control that's in there. So there's respect, importance, purpose, recognition, achievement, courage, competence, impact, being heard, control, wealth, prestige, strength, being taken seriously, enjoyment in competition, especially winning, and a fear of showing vulnerability. And these aren't judgments. These are just categories where it can be. So, what does this look like to you? I will go through these and I'm going to pull out especially the ones that are important to me. Power and recognition is actually a lower need for me. However, the ones that stand out for me are achievement and purpose. And after that, being heard and being taken seriously. I'm obviously up here and I have something to say about parenting and about behavior. I'm interested in being heard and being taken seriously. However, that does not mean that I need to control your opinion and that you need to agree with me for me to feel comfortable or happy. All I need is to be heard and someone to give me the time and respect to let me have my say in a situation. And when I have something to say, something that really kind of pulls me away from someone within a relationship is if I say something and they tell me, I hear what you're saying, but I think you mean this instead. I take a lot of pride and care and concern in thinking about what I have to say and expressing myself exactly as I am and in what's going on in my head. I think that's very important. I don't think it's fair to be passive aggressive or to have someone have to interpret what it is that I'm saying. If I say something, then I know I'm going to hold myself accountable to what those words are. That's really important to me. I don't really have a high need for competition or winning, but at the same time, I felt like very proud of myself when I was awarded Teacher of the Year. Fear of showing vulnerability, it's something I definitely feel, but at the same time, if you had any idea how vulnerable it is to do these videos and put this workshop online for anybody to see and have their opinion about, oh, it's such a high degree of exposure. I'm definitely out of my comfort zone when it comes to showing vulnerability to the world. Strength, that is important to me. I'm the person that you call when you need help with your child. And so I do have to work with that on how strong I need to be perceived by others emotionally. I don't need to be perceived as a bodybuilder. Prestige and wealth are not important to me at all. And you may ask yourself, okay, well, this was an expensive course to purchase if you purchased it as an individual. However, the money that's going for this course, I'm actually using to create a large acreage in the east of Texas that is going to be a training facility for children and adults that have special needs and that need skills in order to join the workforce and actually be something that they can actually have a job and earn an income, have little areas of small, tiny homes that they can live in and be independent. That's not just kind of like an assisted facility, a little house that they can actually live in. And that's kind of my dream and my goal several years down the road from now. But that is what this money that I am using for these courses is going towards. It does have a purpose for me. I don't need to feel courageous, and I don't necessarily need to feel important and compared to other people. But that is not saying that the ones I don't need are right or wrong. That is just who I am at this moment and what is important to me. So take a moment and think about, what does power and recognition look like to you? I didn't tell you the information that I told you so that you could feel judged or judge me. I told you so that you could put it in perspective and see that it's very subjective. It's normal if how I went through all of these topics, you totally disagreed on some points. That's actually a good thing, because then you're seeing more of who you are. If I said something and you totally disagreed with me, write that down. That's info about yourself. And take a look as you're observing your child and you've been spending time with these negative behavior observations when they're kicking and hitting and biting and being a mouthy teenager. Now you can start to do some observations about your children in a different light as well. When they are being a mouthy teenager, maybe one of their needs is not quite being fulfilled and they're having a difficult time fulfilling it in a healthy way. We're the scientist with the safari hat and the binoculars in the wild, and we are observing the most wild creature of all, children. And we're going to learn about them and see them in a different light. So write down, what does power and recognition look like to them? And it's okay if you find a lot of differences. That could be where the conflict is coming from. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it really does work. That just being aware of those differences and starting to be more accepting of those differences without needing to push them into having needs that are like yours will go a long way in your relationship. It will really, really, really lower a lot of the stress and the power struggles that are going on. Because the more you try and control and the more you struggle for power over somebody, the more the natural reaction is to do the opposite. And the child who's not, that's actually a child I'm more concerned about, because that's the person that's going to let somebody walk all over them. And obviously, I don't know too many people who want to raise a child who's going to behave that way.